Definitely at 23 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock. And I'll tell you this. When we then talk about the township economy, we are talking about more than just survival. We are talking about creativity, resilience, and even unseen potential. And tonight here on Kasi Entrepreneurship, we're zooming into the business opportunity that exists within our own very backyards, right? The spaza shops, the car washes, the street food stalls, or local beauty salons or hubs, digital hustles that fuel dreams, feed families. So we'll definitely unpack it on how the township economy isn't just buzzing, it's about building. Let me then do this so that you know what kind of movement we're doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Kasi Entrepreneurship. Before I bring in the gentlemen, let me do this. Liseja? Sure, definitely. There you have it, 25 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock, Kasi Entrepreneurship. Ramakopo, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr. Marisha. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Koshatoro, one day I must just say, welcome to the show.
Sure. I mean, no, but remember, how long have I been saying it? Alright.
Yeah.
It should be you who's sitting on this particular chair. Exactly. When it hits 20 past on Tuesday and Wednesday,
yes,
or on Thursday,
yes,
you should be the one sitting here.
Yes, it's unfortunate. Today, there were supposed to be a few buttons that I know.
Yeah. I mean, Liseja, I think did the system for you because he switched off all the buttons.
All the buttons.
Yeah, over the buttons, if you feel like that, no, this one is the push up, definitely. But let's get into our conversation tonight, right?
Yes.
We're speaking the township economy and even some of the opportunities that are there in the township economy. But let's start it by breaking it down to someone who might not understand when we say township economy. Let's break it down from there. What's the township economy?
I think when we talk about township economy, not from a textbook approach or definition, in my view, what you just said, the things that you have been listing, those things mostly are more associated with the township economy because it's more informal in nature. So now most of informal businesses, they form part of that township economy, or should we rather say informal economy. And then they are actually the backbone, like your spaza shops, like your hair salons, the mechanics around here. There are quite few of them, a lot of them in fact. But now I think somehow the whole landscape here, informal or township economy, it's quite somehow making a shift. I think there's a shift. There are businesses that are emerging or just mushrooming everywhere that are more that they've got so much formal that are so much formal that just being informal business, and somehow they are tapping into this township economy. They are not necessarily informal, but they're tapping in this township economy. So now township economy, especially South African one, I think it's quite big, just like in any other country. And I think, Madisha, maybe if we can just start by focusing on the magnitude, the size, the boholoba, the township economy. What are we talking about here? Because in anyone's mind, we sometimes, most of the time, have this narrow approach to it, to think about only these spaza shops when we talk about township economy. Township economy can be almost anything. Just to give you a practical example, Mr. Madisha, the South African township economy actually amounts to almost 900 billion.
Sure. And then you know what, with that being said, I didn't believe it.
Yes.
I didn't believe it until I went to an entrepreneurial workshop, right? An entrepreneurship workshop. And I was like there, and then they're breaking it down and you see, hey, Komakasana, there's a lot of money.
No, there's a lot of money.
A lot.
There's a lot of money. I think somehow urbanization or urban businesses, if we can look at it, most of them, they were so, I think, clever enough, or should I say wise enough, to can actually realize that it's money than what we thought, or they waste money. And then I will just give you a typical example about two companies. This just is prime examples of two companies. Both are publicly traded. They are listed on the JSE, but most of their revenues, they get their revenues from the informal sector, from the township economy. What they do, they modeled their businesses to actually target what we call low income segments. And then if you look at, even if it can be a consortium of few industries or segments in one big company, you will realize that the most stream or the most revenue generating segment it's actually in townships. I will give you two examples, with one being Shoprite Holdings, the other one being Capitec in the banking sector. Now Capitec, I think it was launched way back in 2001. I stand to be corrected, but around those years. And when it was actually launched, it had the market cap of over 100 million rands way back then. Now what they did, they modeled their services to actually target They strategically positioned their branches, Kodi taxi ranks, Kodi bus ranks, to actually target. Next to shopping complexes where you will find maybe Shoprite, even Shoprite, their localities, how Kalebella, they are more of like targeting.
That's why with all branches, you say
exactly. Yes. Now with Capitec, this is what they did. They found all these four. Normally we call them the big four or the big five. These big banks. They found them actually sleeping, and not necessarily sleeping. What they were thinking, and way back during those years, Mr. Madisha Kohore, with a population of 47 million then, now we are almost like over 60 million people. With 47 million people back then, about 16 or 17.6 million people were unbanked. By Longore, they are somehow, exactly, they were unbanked. Now these big banks, they were actually considering that low income segment as the transactions still already in consequential, meaning or they are less important. And then that is why they will say, no, it does not make any economic sense to can even help these people be banked. Somehow there was this financial exclusion. It was actually a systematic marginalization on mostly black majority people. Only minority had that privilege to actually can go and bank. But even though it was like that, it was quite expensive as well. So now, but what Capitec did, they saw the gap in the market to say, but this is over 17 million of the population that it's not tapped into. Now they modeled their systems to be in a way that they are not that way too capital intensive. They came up with a very strong technology, and they managed to actually raise capital. And then what they did with that, they were able to service that unserviced market. As we speak, fast forward, Capitec, market cap of Capitec is over 300 billion rand.
From 100 million.
From 100 million. It's over 300 billion with over 22 million active account users. Can you see there's money in the townships, there's money in the formal
informal investments also.
Exactly. It's money.
Let me bring in this point, and I've been holding it when you mentioned the pointers. So what happens, or let me put it like this, since you have this consortium, what would you then say are the biggest hidden gems that are not sorry for that are untapped when it comes to business opportunities? When you drive around Komakasana, when you're thinking of a new idea, I can do this and this and that.
Yes.
What are some of these biggest opportunities that have not been untapped even today?
One of them, I will give you a practical example. You don't really need that much. For example, have you known, Mr. Madisha Hore, out of maybe 300 or let me say 3,000 US dollar billionaires that we have in the whole world, the 27th one, his source of income is bottled water.
And I remember you did mention.
I did mention.
Yeah.
Those are not saturated markets, are not actually that well tapped. And you know what, out of every crisis, a lot of businesses, some of them are this multinational, this global companies, they took advantage of the crisis. Out of every crisis, I will give you an example. Go Hammanskral, we have the problem with water. We have water crisis since 2016. But only few of entrepreneurs that are tapping into that market. Now, I will give you another example, Mr. Marisha. Where the government feels, you will know what it was. There was no this national phenomenon, the security companies, even Lekokas. But now those came as a result of these are government failures when it comes to policing and stuff. So now there are people by long they actually saw Norman. You know what? If we can start private companies, ready alarm responses, that's where the government is failing. And then we can go even into Lukukasi, because where there's crime, then there's a need for someone to come up a security company. And then that it's one of the examples. One of the examples which is a crisis is our national electricity grid. How Kalebella with ESCOM since 2015 until now. You know, ESCOM actually increased electricity tariff by 148%. It actually, our electricity price went up from 2015 until now by over 148%.
Sure.
Now, with that being said, with 12.7%, 5.3%, and 6.1% increases that are approved for the next 3 years. Now, we put your order very kukai. Now, and the other thing with this blackout, it's so fragile. Anytime we can go back to load shedding again. I don't think our ESCOM does have that national capacity to can even cover everyone. Now, out of that, Madisha, I think there's also another business opportunity that we are not actually tapping into that. And the big banks, they are now financing that model. Now, there's this thing of renewable energy. You can tap into, you can actually start a business of supplying solar, ready solar installations. All what you need, maybe you just need some little bit of training. And somehow people, they really need to get out of the national grid to be completely independent from the national grid.
Ladies and gentlemen, 20 minutes before the hour 8 o'clock, let's take a very quick ad break. When we come back from that, we'll finish off that particular conversation, and maybe Puselet will have the answer, or maybe Repali maybe they know, but I think you know more because you've been in this business for the longest of time. Let's take a very quick ad break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kasi Entrepreneurship right here on TUTFM.
Mondays to Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. on TUTFM.
Sure. Definitely back 15 minutes before the hour 8 o'clock, and soon after that we'll then wrap it up. Ramakapo, any comments coming in from your live section? What are people saying? Do they understand why are we not part of the market? What are they saying?
Mr. Marish, I'm not sure if I'm the one who does not know how this TikTok thing works. And somehow that's why people just joined. And as time goes on, I will just see if there are any
comments.
Sure,
definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, you can send in your thoughts, your comments on 0123829257. Be part of the conversation. We always say you need to be part of this conversation, because this conversation, it is definitely here for you. But Ramakopo, before we went to that quick ad break, you did mention a very important point. Why are we not part of that particular market? Why? What do you think? Why are we not? Are we afraid? Are we doubting ourselves?
I think somehow we still have the mentality of consumers. Nothing comes out of the black race. Black race is actually consuming. All what we do, we are just consumers. And somehow we debunked the pernicious myth to say some of these businesses you don't really need so much to start. You know, some of these businesses that you can start. I give you example, manufacturing bottled water from Kokasiakere. That actually can be what we call fostering, and we really need to encourage the spirit of that township industrialization. Now, if you look at, maybe for example, let me give you an example. One of the shows here, I'm not sure it's which show, there was a guy who was actually saying, guys, there's no need for you to spend. I think it was during the day or yesterday. I just saw the shorts.
Yeah, I think it was on Pretoria Agenda. Pretoria Agenda.
The guy
actually Drex.
Yes, and I didn't watch the whole show, but he was actually saying, instead of you having 100,000 worth of oil drop, why was I saving that money so that you leverage by using that money whenever there's a need? You know, some of these people, they are wearing, for example, it's more than what someone needs to start a business.
180 for an outfit only. If we then debacle I don't want to speak those names, but
yes, and then with that one bottle of wine, those thousands that they spend, actually that can be enough as a capital contribution for someone to can actually establish a business.
And let me get in there with something that might go into the same level. Let's talk about about ownership. But Makasana, they rent the places that they are owned, like maybe more shops are one basic thing, right? Babang maybe come I don't know, okay, stolen go judging and whatsoever, or maybe depend on even a public space. I want to understand what are the barriers that are there in terms of owning your own premises, Komakasana, and then how can they be overcome? Or is it other pointers here we will spender? It could then be assisting of owning the space, because in most cases, le rather own a spaza shops at the but as is a high, they still have to pay rent, and you paying rent, still as a business, you're not growing because you still have to make rent. What if you can't then raise the rent money?
Actually, Mr. Madisha, if we can actually look, I think it takes us back to the mentality that we have. It's not all the spaza shops or kasi-based businesses selling or they're not doing well. But somehow the owners of these businesses, somehow they have this survivalist mentality. Where one again, I'm running this business only to survive. I'm running this business only to be able to pay the school fees and everything, with no any intention of scaling it up or turning it into something very big, to maybe something that can actually branch out and become something very sustainable and big. The business is doing quite well. How level the client base? Maybe let's say it's an alcohol establishment. And all those. And you can see the business is doing quite well from outside. Mara, because of this survivalist mentality, someone will prefer just to be a tenant and renting there for the rest of his life, instead of when the business is still doing very well, the person can actually find a place. Because now, with that survivalist mentality, we don't actually start businesses to somehow have the ownership of these productive assets. The key component of someone running a business is when you can even own the building itself. Because there's no way that you can be working and relying on and paying the rent. Actually, that's part of your profit that goes to a landlord.
Sure.
So there are businesses selling or they've been doing very well, and somehow because of our mentality, renewing that mentality, I'm actually not building this thing up. I will give you an example, what we call the professionals or self-employed people. Again, most professionals have this entrepreneurial mindset. They are not business people. Who create a medical doctor qualified. Again, and then aren't a business space, run a surgery. Again,
yes.
Now that person does not have a mentality to say, I can build others and employ other doctors and branch it out and let this thing be a brand.
Now
the person, what he does, stand in front or attend to a patient, and then if that person does not attend to a patient, there's no money coming in.
Sure.
So most of those people look up a level that they are renting those spaces.
Sure.
Again, some of them get the law firms, mostly the black law firms.
Sure.
They don't own the spaces where they are operating. And somehow they had the opportunities to can amass millions and so in their trusts. What they do, they will rather spend those millions on other things instead of them having, because now somehow they don't have the mentality of building something, a legacy business that will outlive them. That is why most businesses come high after the founder. Now those businesses, if the founder passes on, now those businesses passes on.
Sure.
I think somehow it does have to do with the mentality that we have. But we got to appreciate also the governmental efforts that the government is, because somehow government, on my way here, there was a conversation about the PIC, that now what they do now, they want to focus injecting more of their investments into this informal economy. Somehow, I think it was last week, you were also speaking to one lady from the department. I'm not sure if...
Yeah, Mr. Banyan. No,
Yes.
she's administrative expert.
Yes, administrative aspect.
Leadership, eh?
We
Administrative leadership expert. Yes. Oh, you forgot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you can see our government to come up with those supports. They actually know it's 900 billion somewhere there. It's not quite easy for you to compete with these blue chip companies.
Sure.
When you don't have okay furniture stores that you can sell and take those millions so that you can actually expand into township economy. You don't have this substantial amounts of money for you to can even take advantage and of economies of scale, whereby you can have these supplier contracts whereby you can say, I can give you 50 million and then I bargain for this item at this lower price. Those are actually some of the disadvantages why some of our guys, they don't actually start businesses.
And then within that conversation, I'm not sure if you got that part, Leseja, but and she said something that was very so profound, and I saw it when I was at home over the weekend, that the generation that will come, or the generation that is coming in from Boma 2010, they don't know how most of these shops were owned by black people.
Which shops? They don't know which shops were
spaza shops.
Yes.
Like the funding.
Or they don't know her before
Alex, Exactly. I think there used to be 3 dominant stores.
Yes.
Owned and operated by black people.
Joe Smith, maybe.
Joe Smith. Yeah. But now, I don't think that they'll ever believe it. I think past 2 years, 3 years, there were 3 that were left. And then I had the other one closed down. And then I don't think easily so. It's the last operating spaza
that
shop
is standing.
Yeah, owned by a black person and run by a black person.
Yes, but there are people like us by Longor. We just came into the market. Like I said to you, last week I was opening a supermarket.
Yeah,
I'm well aware, so much awake to all the challenges. Longor, they are there. Number one, you're competing with people by Longor. Somehow you just don't know who funds them.
Sure.
It's this illicit flow of billions of money in the market that you don't even know who funds them.
Let me put in something there that's gonna debate me a bit. So Kamata on Sunday.
Yes.
So go on a church service, right? So go front opposite it's a spaza shop. Alex, not even Alex. I knew one. So by 6 o'clock, that guy is so mood. And then people want to buy with cigarettes and all of that, right?
Yes.
So they keep on going. And then one Mazala that says, no, I'm sorry for using the word.
Yes.
And the other Bagogo responds, hey, man. I think that's some of the reasons why the shop tsena Alex will keep always being there in the market because they understand the sufferings that as people will go through. Ke khono ya go ka bo di 15 mo hore ga just say look at your board Alex on February pack on February ya ke tla bona mafela khwedi.
Okay.
Ba ngwala mo booking, that's it. But if then supposed to black people or other people, it might be a challenge there.
Let me pose this question to you.
Yeah.
Ko Shoprite ba kolotisha.
Max.
But why are they making billions and billions?
Yeah.
Got so much support from us.
Yeah. Over an advantage.
Yeah.
At some point. An advantage.
Yeah, an advantage at some point. But now, still, it goes back to the mentality as well. Okay. To me, there were a lot of people about Nebare. You won't make it. Why, when people are losing their shops, giving them up to these foreign nationals and
sure.
And then British Shoprites are coming, Kokasi. And then where do you think you will get your customers again?
Yeah.
Now, Madisha, I'm not afraid of crocodiles. Don't even say to me, you will scare me, crocodiles. I kill one. I can swim even to the deep end.
Yeah.
I kill one when I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would rather go there, bend my fingers. But the thing, what I've noticed, Mr. Madisha, every business in its own competitive advantage. Like for example, if you come to my store, as much as maybe but I've somehow been able to see what makes these big businesses to come Kukas. As much as the businesses still already about and this is their competitive advantage. But it's also the stigma as well to say no, whenever they are saying no, then I'm taking advantage of that to say now, this is what we do. We make sure the hygiene standard in our shop, it's different from those ones. This is not a hate speech. It's a well-known fact.
Sure.
It's prevalent. Somehow our country was upside down. Got the protests and everything. Got issue or their kids by long or they dying and everything. It's this mentality or this foreign national spaza shops and they are manufacturing these things. There are those things. I get. Now there is this thing. This one you know it very well. Or some of them are even sleeping with these grocery stores, with this grocery area. I get. Now why don't you do it differently, so that those by long or habanele problem they can actually come by long or number one, they don't actually care about the price, but they care much about the hygiene. By long or they are health conscious. By long or they can come and buy from Gowen.
You know what? I don't think the problem now when you speak it, what Meka Rabo did mention one that some other time when she was here, and then I'll stay this moment and I'll give you this last question and then we'll close it off for this evening. We'll continue with these conversations as time goes by.
On Thursday.
Yeah, it's not even about maybe waukolotis and whatsoever.
Yes.
Mona, but makopo huma ka ditšhelete tsa rena.
Yeah.
Problem starts there with black people.
Yes. Problem starts there with black people. What's the problem ya motho montsho king? Motho montsho ke kopa ho bolela ka sa gagisho ne. Motho montsho can sell a kareksha kgomo ya bofelo. Ya neng le yona ka mo leshakeng ka 8,000 rand just gore a gone go ya gore ka setlhare sa go disturb motho mo bophelong. Abue a shibe ka morogo a ske ba bona any problem
a robale
wa understand like yes, that's the problem ya motho montsho. But it's not everyone.
Sure, no,
what they are like right now, Mr. Marisha, let me give you an example. When Shoprite came into Kumakasana, Asibaye way too deep into our communities. Firstly, Babila settled good shopping complexes. Ka you safe. I get. And then Bafecha Batlisha Budi USAFE Acres in the container format. Okay. Now, the USAFE Acres is for the convenience. How about let's why liquors or anything right now? Unur kapelanyana ke. But at the end of the month, how much? Then you will come Kobudi cruising to Shoprite. Now those two stores are not actually competing with each other. They're actually supplementing each other. But Amudi crossing Kobudi USAFE to buy the groceries. Okay. But during the month, by long baba tlo ya ko makulenko they go to ShopRite. And then I saw the need. I saw this market will never ever be saturated. There will always be a need for this market.
The need.
Like
Yeah.
The demographic, most of them they will rather drive a distance to a better store to go and buy 2 tin fishes and few things. Now, why don't I establish a store for them?
Yeah.
Say Longor actually meet their needs.
And
the pricing thing, it's not a problem to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this high market companies like Woolworths, and they're still making it.
Yeah. You know what? Let me then take you on this point, and this will be my closing statement, because, and I loved what you mentioned, you know, there's people who always say, your success is outside there is that notion. So I want to understand, what's your closing message to young people who then think success only lies outside your township? Then we close it off there.
You're saying the success only lies outside
township. Yeah, people will then say, you need to go outside there and then, you know, see things, and maybe let's push over that. So I'm saying to you, what do you say to the people who say that notion, who sticks to that notion?
I think it's a wrong notion.
Yeah.
I think it's a wrong notion. If we can look around and if we can listen attentively, quite there are actually businesses telling what they are prime examples that we can point to say, but these ones, they've made it right on Mokasi, and this person grew up on Mokasi. We can give a lot of examples about them.
Yeah.
I think it's all about how you want to position your business. It's about who you are actually targeting.
Sure.
And it's about your intentions about that business. If it's a business you want to build legacy and how nearly this survivalist mentality, you can still make it go kasi.
Sure.
There's no way, or someone from Stellenbosch. Where are the headquarters of Capitec? They are in Stellenbosch.
Sure.
But where are they making money from? There's 300
100
billion market. They're making it from Mosushanguf, from Hammanskraal, from all these places.
Yeah.
I think it's a wrong mentality. It's a wrong notion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's finish this conversation on a Thursday. We'll try to bring other people. Puseletso was then saying that someone who's agreed to come on Thursday so that we can have different voices on this particular issue. And I want to arrive fades on these issues.
Yes.
So we'll have more people coming in. Ramakopa, I want to thank you so much for making time to speak with me this evening.